Hello, everyone. This is Rob, and we are going to be doing another episode of Anime Time. This is episode 2. Alright, so welcome back to another episode of Anime Time. This is Rob, once again, and where do I even begin with this? Because honestly, I was kind of wondering what the heck to do for this particular episode. I mean, seriously, over the time of doing a lot of the other stuff that I've been doing for social media, or at least for my stuff, like as a hobby, either playing video games and doing the Let's Plays, where I'm basically trying to complete Tears of the Kingdom, which that has become a task in of itself, to doing a variety of other content that I absolutely enjoy doing. As this was coming up, I was kind of wondering, what the heck am I supposed to do involving the next episode of Anime Time? And which, by the way, I have a list of reactionary to review to commentary videos that I do, and once I go through that list, it's randomized, so there are times where I will get as soon as I'm done with this one, I may get a episode or have to do another episode right after, because again, everything's randomized, which I may consider not doing that anymore. But regardless, it's it's an interesting process that I have. And if anything, the only way, or at least the only reason I do that, is so that way everything kind of seems fresh and unexpected, so to speak. But then again, maybe I should stop doing it that way. But speaking of unexpected, this one, I was thinking about doing this one for at least one of the episodes, because this is one that was to an extent recommended to me a while back, and periodically I've been kind of going on and off looking at it. And I think it was best said to me that this is a type of show that should be should be done in increments. And that, of course, being My Hero Academia. Now, before we begin, news. There's no news. Literally, there's no news that I can think of. I was looking at, a lot of the news media stuff, and a lot of it's boring, garbage. A lot of it's dribble. A lot of it isn't, even though it claims to be gaming related, a lot of it doesn't seem like it's actually game related, and if anything, it just seems more of a political standpoint, which case, I'm not there to look at politics for video games. I'm there to, if I'm looking at an article about video games, that's what I'm expecting to read about, not somebody's personal politics. But anyways, so in terms of journalism, there's a lot to be said about journalism, but I'm not going to go into that. What I will go into, however, is My Hero Academia, which is an interesting particular type of anime. And where do I begin with this? I will say I want to claim it's a spoof of hero, superhero genre, or the superhero genre, I should say. Or it's sort of acknowledges some of the good and some of the bad of being a superhero, but it's done in a really interesting way. I guess to start us off, My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia, is based on the Japanese superhero manga series written and illustrated by Kyoji Horikoshi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If I didn't, let me know. It was serialized in Soshisha's Shonen Manga magazine for Weekly Shonen Jump since July 2014, with its chapters additionally collected into 38 Tanktoban volumes as of June 2023. And basically, for this series, it's set in the world where superpowers called quirks have become commonplace. And to an extent, the story itself follows Midoriya, a boy who was born without a quirk, but dreams to become a superhero, and follows some of the ideals of his hero, All Might. At some point, he comes across his hero and is scouted and recruited and actually bestowed upon the power of All Might, so Midoriya himself can become a hero. Now, to a degree, it's, again, as it's been mentioned to me, the show is actually entertaining. And I will say that it's one of those shows where you can watch a little bit at a time, and it's to an extent in a continuous story, and you can come back later on. Like, if you want to watch a little bit, you can come back to it a later time and then watch more of it. It is a continuous story, and kind of goes to elevate or kind of build up a singular plot with a major supervillain that they slowly but surely introduce and build up in terms of this character called All For One, who is I will say an interesting, like, kind of villain in the shadows type of character, as well as some of the villains that are kind of recruited to follow him and, you know, do his bidding. Throughout the episodes, it's mostly just Midoriya, you know, learning, growing, you know, gaining his own not followers, but more so his own, like, collective of comrades, and not just using, but also cooperating with them and their abilities. And again, I will say it's an interesting take in the superhero genre, as well as kind of going into a really interesting factor about how commercialized certain heroes are. And I think that was the same thing that they were doing with a show like the One Punch Man, where you have heroes in society, they have abilities, and once they're recruited, they can get sponsorship deals, they can rank up and gain more notoriety, as well as more money and so on, more influence. And that's kind of what we are shown a little bit with this show, where superheroes have a sort of influence in terms of, like, the people that follow them. So far as I've been progressing through this show, I don't want to spoil it or spoil anything for you guys. I ask you guys to go check it out, and for your perspective, you know, watch it for yourselves. I myself am kind of enjoying it. There is one particular arc that I'm following right now involving, I guess, a training arc, and it involves a really, really cool looking hero portraying himself as a villain. I don't want to say more than that. All I say is go watch it. If I were to have to give this a rating, you know, honestly, I think I want to give this a buy it now. Again, it's not just because the superhero genre motif of this. It's more of it I guess, puts in perspective, like, some of the stuff that you wouldn't see in sort of the superhero genre, where, again, superheroes themselves are not only, looked upon as, heroes, but also commercially, in some sense, in certain aspects of, like, I guess, like, let's say if we were to look at DC and Marvel characters, what they're, like, I guess, in a sense, what they would be to the public. So, yeah, buy it now. I honestly thought this so far, as I'm watching, or because I'm still not finished with it, I like it. I enjoy it, and I think some of you guys will too. But anyway, I think with that, there's not much else I can say, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. To everybody, especially those who are following us on YouTube or any audio stuff I upload this to, thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, again, this is mostly for the people who are watching this on YouTube, as well as, wherever else I post it. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are usually in the description for our YouTube channels, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob, Novakast, signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys next video and next episode. Take care.
To find